Coming off of a previous video about some mysterious leaks, there's more mysteries abound today as Capcom has officially posted this, a link to a website listing simply a countdown timer to something coming very, very soon. Nobody knows exactly what. The website isn't telling, but if you've been keeping a close eye on the headlines, not just over the course of this past weekend where there's been a lot of speculation, but as far back as November of 2020, that you might have a solid idea as to what this might be referring to. If not, or if you need a quick refresher, here's a video breaking down all the details about what we know and what we might have to look forward to in just a few days' time. To not bury the lead, let's start off with the biggest, most concrete source of information we have on the matter, a massive data leak that occurred at Capcom following a ransomware attack. The leak contained a lot of information, some of it potentially compromising, but it also contained a release schedule for games in development, some under codename at the time. As you can see, we're already past one scheduled release, that being Resident Evil Outrage, which hasn't even been mentioned. According to YouTuber Nate the Hate, who has spoken on the matter since then, it's been canceled, but with no official announcement, we can't know for sure. Getting back to the schedule though, I want to focus on the two titles that seem strong contenders for this countdown clock, Street Fighter 6 and the Resident Evil 4 remake. And of course, while there's not exactly confirmation of this, sources close to IGN have confirmed some of the titles on the list, which adds some validity to it, and both of these seem inevitable. While there's been a lot of debate around a couple other things on this list, and while of course this wouldn't be the first time that a Resident Evil game has been canceled, which allows that story to make a little bit of sense, the RE remakes have been doing fantastically well, so there's no way that we weren't getting Resident Evil 4 eventually. On top of that, Street Fighter continues to be one of Capcom's pillar IPs, and we know we were going to be getting a Street Fighter 6 sometime or another. And the last game, SF5, came out way back in 2016, so it's been a reasonable enough amount of time from the last game for us to be looking forward to that sequel. And of course, if you're a big FGC guy like myself, then you may have noticed something in particular that's very, very special about when this countdown clock's date ends. As pointed out by Resident Evil Central on Twitter, it looks like this Capcom countdown could be either one announcement or multiple. The countdown ends on President's Day, so it could be a nod to Resident Evil 4 remake, or it could be a Street Fighter 6 reveal as it ends on the last day of the Capcom Cup. The timing is certainly exciting, and I'd love to see one or both of these names to drop. It's also important to note that due to the coronavirus, the Capcom Cup's in-person event this year has been canceled. It'll be an entirely online affair this year. And while usually Capcom tournaments are a big opportunity for them to do announcements and reveals, we as fighting game fans are used to seeing big news, big drops, whether it's a new character or a new game entirely at some kind of tournament, the fact that the in-person event that's going to have the most eyes potentially drawn has been canceled this year does have some folks reasonably speculating that the announcement might have been pushed back to a better opportunity.
The biggest thing was that we thought Capcom Cup was almost a guarantee of SF6 first being shown off, because even the developers of the game were saying we're going to see you soon in regards to like the future of Street Fighter. There's a good chance there still might be a teaser there, but there's also a chance it might be held back.
And while that list of names does remain unconfirmed, some sources close to IGN have of course given validity to certain things like Dragon's Dogma 2 and Street Fighter 6. But of course, even games that have been officially announced can have their schedules adjusted, they can be pushed back, they can be dropped altogether as things change and things grow, etc, etc. So who knows if the dates are accurate. Even for the titles we can be confident we will be getting eventually. One way or another, you can bet for sure I will be watching the Capcom Cup finale, and of course, if there is any kinds of new reveal, if there's any kinds of big drops, I'll be there making a video about it. But until then, folks, let me know how you're feeling about this. What are you expecting to come at the end of this countdown clock? Are you hyped for the Capcom Cup in general? But of course, specifically, what do you think this reveal could be? Whether or not it is timed perfectly to blend multiple things together, or it's just going to be one big drop related to the fact that we're landing on President's Day, the fact that we're landing on the end of the Capcom Cup. Who knows what? I'm very excited to see, and I'm very excited to hear from you. But until we get that news, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching once again, and as always, have yourselves a wonderful day.